Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Today at Comerica Park, Greg Porcello will make the start for the Tigers. A strong outing earlier this year against the Orioles. Porcello comes in at 1-1 this season as we welcome him to Comerica. Third and final game in this series featuring the Detroit Tigers and the Los Angeles Angels. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, and happy Easter to all of you. The Tigers getting set to take on the Halos today. Rubber game of the match. Rick Porcello is on the hill, Rod. And for Porcello, really good start earlier this year and a little bit roughed up in his last start against San Diego.
You know, one thing about Rick Porcello is we know he's going to fill up that strike zone with lots of sinker balls. He's got the curveball now and the good changeup. He has not had any luck at all against the Angels in his career. He really needs to change whatever he's been doing in the past. He needs to make some adjustments.
All right, we'll see if he can do that today. One thing we have seen is Victor Martinez off to a terrific start this year, really doing good work protecting Miguel Cabrera in the middle of that lineup.
You know, really just continuing the second half that he had last year when Victor led all American League hitters with a .361 batting average. It is very difficult to maintain a really consistent swing from both sides of the plate. But Victor is one that can do that. He's a career .300 left-handed. He's a career .300 hitter right-handed as well. He's not a big power guy, although he does have 3 big flies this year. Victor drives the ball gap to gap, foul line to foul line. That's one of the reasons why he drives in lots of big runs. After they walk Miguel Cabrera or after Miguel hits a single or a double, there's Victor to drive him in.
All right, after a short break, we'll send you back to the Call Sam studios and check in with Shannon Hogan. But coming up in this one here this afternoon, Albert Pujols closing in on a milestone. He's sitting at 498 career home runs. Tigers, Halos, Game 3 next. Easter, everyone. Rick Porcello taking the hill. The Tigers taking on these Angels, and Porcello presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Rick Porcello making his third start this season. He has won one and lost one game. The .415 earned run average for Porcello.
Here is the starting lineup for the Angels, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. It'll be Shuck, Trout, Pujols in your top three spots. Albert sitting on 498 homers. Stewart, Kendrick, Freeze back in the lineup today. Conger, Bosch, and Ibar, your bottom three for the Angels. And what has turned out to be a spectacular Easter Sunday here in the Motor City. We're glad to have you with us today as the Tigers go for a series win against the Angels. J.B. Shuck will stand in to start things off. Rick Porcello set to go to work, and the first pitch of today's ball game is a strike called on Shuck. Shuck batting 189, 1 for 9 of the series, couple of RBIs. Leadoff man homered in the ball game yesterday against Max Scherzer, but after that it was lights out against Scherzer. Here's a chopper hit to the second baseman. Kinsler has it, and that's how we start this one this afternoon. One gone. Well, we mentioned it's a spectacular day here. Here is proof. The game conditions are presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. It is 65 degrees at game time. It is dry and it is sunny. So we're finally happy to have some really nice weather here at the ballpark.
Yeah, that's right.
Here is Mike Trout, who had a day yesterday that he would like to forget. His first career 4 strikeout game. Still batting .319, 5 home runs this year. And Trout hammers the first one out of play, 0-1.
When you go inside on Mike Trout, you have to go above the belt buckle on the inside part of the plate. When you're throwing him fastballs away, you got to go down in the strike zone. He is such a dangerous hitter, good breaking ball hitter. If Porcello throws him a breaking ball, he needs to bounce it.
The 0-1 pitch. 0-2 on Trout.
A couple of days ago, Trout had a couple doubles in the contest, and both of those balls were at the bottom of the zone, and he absolutely scorched both of them.
Well, Porcello already has 1 ground ball out. We will see if that continues to be the case today. That is his MO. Now the 0-2 coming to Trout, and he takes it low and away.
Well, since coming to the big leagues, Porcello has averaged about 2.5 ground balls for every fly ball. Kinsler, Romine, Castellanos are going to be very, very busy in that infield today.
Trout waiting on the 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Trout strikes out again. 2 gone.
The last 5 at-bats, Tigers pitchers have made an adjustment against Trout. This is what they're doing to him. They're getting ahead of him, and then they're going up and in with fastballs, and he has not been able to lay off of them the last couple of days. They finally found a remedy to get out of the very good Mike Trout. Beaumont Health System will sponsor the Tigers' defensive alignment here today. Third start at first base for Victor Martinez has not committed a miscue over there.
So here is Albert Pujols, and Albert homered again yesterday, 498 as he closes in on 500 in his illustrious career. He's got 6 already this season. Porcello ready with the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike on Pujols.
Once Pujols does get to 500 home runs, he will become the second player ever to hit their 500th home run wearing an Angel uniform. Reggie Jackson also did it.
Mr. October. Here's the 1-1. Line and into left field. Castellanos had him played on the line at third, and Pujols finds a hole, so it's a 2-out single. That'll bring up Ian Stewart for the Angels. Angels pounded the Tigers in the first game of the series, and then Max Scherzer pitched an outstanding ball game yesterday in game 2.
Yeah, Tigers did not beat the Angels one time last year, and going into that contest yesterday, they were 0 for their last 10 against the Angels.
Yeah, they broke a nice long streak. Stewart batting in the cleanup slot is 3 out of 7 in the series, and they play him to shift all the way around to the right side. That's Castellanos playing in short right field. He's showing bunt, and he drops one down the third base line. Porcello barehanding and safe at first base. So Seward says, "You want to give it to me? I'll take it."
He took his time and he got the ball down. It didn't matter whether Porcello was able to get there and pick it up or not. He was not going to throw Stewart out. And that gets Howie Kendrick up to the plate with runners in scoring position, and he's been one of their better RBI guys all year.
And it also brings us to the Bernstein advantage, the pitcher-batter matchup. And it's going to belong to Rick Porcello with Howie Kendrick stepping in. He is only .227 against Rick with 8 punch-outs. But he had a big night here in the first game on Friday night with a couple of homers. Kendrick is at .264. And the 2 home runs that he hit Friday were his first 2 of the season for the Angels.
And both of those home runs went the opposite way to right field. He does have good power in that direction.
Off the end of the bat, foul. Oh, 0-1 on Kendrick, who hits .264, and you see his series numbers he's knocked in for. Porcello still only 25 years of age, won 13 games last year. He has, as we have well documented, has his struggles against this Angels team. And that's in for a strike, 0-2. Here are the struggles, an 8.34 ERA. And look at last year. He gave up 16 runs in 5 innings against Angels hitters. Now the 0-2. Good block at home plate by Avila. Kendrick has been a good hitter ever since he's gotten to the big leagues. Has for a long time been one of the top prospects in the Angels system, and since he's gotten to the big leagues, a .292 career hitter. The 1-2.
Here's some of the damage that Howie Kendrick did on Friday. Hit that first home run against Drew Smyly, and then he hit his second home run against Luke Peconin. So he was in one of those moods on Friday night.
Pretty good power the other way when you're taking it out in that part of the ballpark.
Yeah, we watch Miguel do that with regularity, but we do not see a lot of right-handers with that kind of charge in their bat hitting the ball in that direction.
And there's a base hit to right field. Kendrick again goes the other way. Pujols rounding third. They're going to send him home. Throw to the plate off target. Throw down to second, not in time. And it's a 2-out RBI single for Howie Kendrick.
That's what Howie Kendrick does best. He drives the ball the opposite way. Porcello able to get ahead of him. No balls, 2 strikes. He shortened his swing. He shortened his stride. And he found a hole on the right side of the infield. And that bunt by Ian Stewart turned out to be a fabulous play, getting a runner in scoring position for Howie Kendrick.
And so Kendrick now has 5 RBIs in the series, his 4th double of the year.
This Angels team, man, they love to score in the first inning.
Single for Kendrick. He advances on the throw, and here is David Freese, who was originally in the starting lineup on Friday, but a late scratch. And he'll shoot one foul back out of play.
I was listening to an interview that the Angels manager did before the game today, talking about Freese. Said he's not necessarily where we know he's going to be. His swing is a little bit long, but they feel like with his reputation and where he's played in the past, he will be a really good performer for them this year.
Well, they gave up Peter Borges to get him from the St. Louis Cardinals. And so they were dealing from a position of strength in terms of numbers. And Freese, of course, has had many big at-bats with the Cardinals. A few of those obviously coming in the World Series and the playoffs.
Didn't perform all that well last year, and that's probably why he was expendable this year by the Cardinals.
Porcello trying to strand a couple of runners here. The Angels already with a 1-0 lead. Grounded foul, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Freese. Of course, the Angels did make a couple of big moves. We talked about Peter Borges for Freese. How about Mark Trumbo?
They gave up a big bat when they gave up Mark Trumbo.
Well, they got a couple of arms in return. Hector Santiago starting today, and Tyler Skaggs. Two balls, two strikes on Freeze. Waiting on deck for the Angels, their catcher, Hank Conger. Rick looked like he might have himself an easy 1-2-3 inning, but a 2-out single by Pujols, spun single by Stewart, and a base hit by Kendrick. Chop toward third base. Castellanos waits on the hop. His throw is in time for the out to retire the side, but Howie Kendrick gives them the lead. Santiago will take the mound with a 1-0 advantage. Enjoying this ball game on a beautiful day on Easter Sunday. The Tigers starting lineup today is presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers, and for Brad Ausmus this afternoon, Rajai Davis, Ian Kinsler, and Miguel Cabrera at the top. Yesterday against the Angels, Victor Martinez reaching base in 4 plate appearances. Hunter and Jackson to follow, and Castellanos, Sevilla, and Romine to wrap it up for Detroit. And they are facing the left-handed offerings of Hector Santiago.
The Tigers have seen Santiago when he was wearing a White Sox uniform. He is 0-2 so far this year with his new club. He's got a fastball. He'll cut the fastball as well. He's got a nice breaking ball, real good changeup, and he throws a screwball to go along with the other 4 pitches that I mentioned.
Rajai Davis starts it off and looks at a ball high.
Lots of elevated fastballs thrown by Santiago. The Tigers know that. They'll have to lay off that fastball about 86 to 88 miles an hour up around the letters.
2 out of 7 in the series for Davis, who's been elevated to the leadoff slot with the lefty on the mound. Santiago, 6 feet 210 out of Newark. High pop up, shallow center field. It's going to be a long run, but Mike Trout is able to get there.
That's that pitch that the Tigers are going to have to lay off here today if they're going to have success. Let's take a look at the Los Angeles Angels starting defense, brought to you by Tim Hortons. In the outfield, they've got Shuck, they've got Trout, they've got Brennan Bosch, the former Tiger, Ibar, Kendrick up the middle, Stuart Pujols on the corners, and Hank Conger is the starting catcher today.
Bring up Ian Kinsler, who's off to a marvelous start in his new Tigers uniform. 8 multi-hit games already, which is tied for second in the American League. He's knocking in runs. He's hit a couple of homers, and also playing a very good second base. And when you create a checklist on what you want Ian Kinsler to provide, he's checked off just about all of them this year.
Scoring lots of runs. Dave Dombrowski was commenting on Ian Kinsler today. and saying that he has done everything that they thought that he would do when they made that huge deal trading Prince Fielder to Texas for Kinsler.
2-0 on Kinsler. Tigers check in today after yesterday's victory at 8-6, 2 over the 500 mark. And missed outside 3-0. Tigers in search of their first base runner for the guy on deck, Miguel Cabrera. And there's ball 4. So 4 bad ones for Santiago. Tigers have their first base runner. Hey, by the way, guess what we have at our disposal again today, Rod?
Phantom cam here again?
Yes, sir. Special slow-mo camera located behind home plate today. It shoots up to 2,500 frames per second. Our other cameras all shoot at about 30 frames per second.
Here's Pujols' swing in Phantom cam. It's his base hit. See Castellanos hugging that line. He lined one right past Castellanos.
Here's another guy with a sweet swing. That would be Miguel Cabrera. And Santiago missed inside 1-0.
Yeah, Miguel had a base hit the opposite way in yesterday's game. He has not gone the opposite way a whole lot this year. And once he starts to drive that ball down the right field line into that right center field gap, you'll see those batting average numbers start to come up for the 3-time batting champion.
Low and away again, 2-0.
Here you go right here. That one right there. That occurred yesterday. But really, he is doing what he's being forced into doing. They are pitching him inside a lot. Miguel knows that, and he's getting slow breaking balls. Therefore, he's trying to turn on those pitches.
They have him shaded the other way in the outfield.
Pretty much straight up in the infield. Howie Kendrick, the second baseman, playing a little bit closer to second base.
Here's the 2-0. And so Santiago now has thrown 7 straight balls. 3-0.
There's no doubt that Miggy has the green light if he chooses to swing. But the one thing that we have noticed since he has put on the Tigers uniform, very seldom does he like to take advantage of these 3-0 counts.
It's in there, a strike. Santiago has thrown 11 pitches. Only 2 of them have been strikes so far. 3-1 on Cabrera. Waiting on deck, Victor Martinez. Angels got a run in the top of the first on the single by Kendrick. Driven down the left field line. That is hooking, and it'll go foul.
Miguel knew he was going to get something inside because they continue to pitch him inside, and he got out in front of this one just a little bit too quick. The bat head got there too fast in front of home plate. That's why he hooked that ball foul. Miguel usually keeps that ball fair. He's trying and he's fighting to get those hands inside. He just didn't get him in far enough to keep that ball fair.
So the count now 3-2. Kinsler at first base.
Here's a situation where Kinsler may be on the move with just 1 out. And if you are Ian Kinsler and you are running, the one thing that can't happen, you can't get picked off. If it's a ball, obviously you'll make it to second base. And if it's a strike in the strike zone, you're hoping that Miguel will either foul it off or he'll put it in play somewhere, that he will not strike out.
There he goes. And it's ball 4 down low, throw into center field. Kinsler is on his way to third, and the Tigers take advantage of that. The throw by Conger sails into center. Now here comes Kinsler. Throw to the plate. He's in there.
How about that?
Cabrera's going to go to second. And the Tigers have tied it up. All on a walk. don't believe I've ever seen that before. It all just fell apart for the Angels quickly.
It's like Little League all over again. And ball thrown into center field. Trout comes up nonchalantly, tosses the ball into the infield. Kinsler very heads up, sees the ball on the ground. He says, you know what, I can get home. Santiago throws home, throws a bad throw to Conger, and the Tigers have gotten on a run. On the board, excuse me.
There's a great look at Kinsler with a head-first dive into home plate on Phantom Cam. Conger never had the ball.
It's a nice job, too, of Conger, their catcher, giving that lane to slide to Ian Kinsler, which is what a lot of the catching instructors and managers are instructing their catchers to do these days with the new rules that have been implemented.
What a wacky sequence of events that was.
Well, here you go.
Ball 4, bad throw. Trout just kind of lobbed it into the infield. You're right. What a heads-up play by Kinsler.
2 errors on that play.
Ian could have easily stopped at third base, but he remained aggressive, and the Tigers have tied it now. And the whole thing seemed to catch Cabrera by surprise, because as he got to first, Vizquel was screaming, "Go to second." And he got there safely. Victor batting .333. We'll get you the scoring on that play in just a second. They're sorting it out right now. But there will be 2 errors for the Angels. Now 3 errors for the Angels.
Wow.
Well, let's see how they came about then. E2 on the throw.
Trout got an error for throwing it in.
E8.
And then Santiago got an error.
Oh, right, you're right. Santiago, that's 3 of them. 3 errors on 1 play.
That might be a first for me.
Tigers get a walk, and they get a run on a walk.
That might be a first for me. 3 errors on one play.
On one play, yeah. I can't remember. If it's a first for you, it's a first for me.
You calling me old or what?
No, I'm calling you more seasoned. You're a veteran. Yeah, you're old. 1 and 2 on Martinez. E2, E8, E1. Now Santiago ready with the 1-2 pitch. Off the plate inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's Torrey Hunter waiting on deck. Angels came in defensively, one of the better teams, only 9 errors all year in the American League. 2-2 is hit in the air to right. Cruising over is Bosch. Catch is made, and the runner will hold. Two gone. We'll bring up Torrey Hunter. Torrey 1 for 7 in the series, and the average now at .222, so he's trying to catch fire again like he did coming out of the chute this year. Had a really good first homestand. Homered in 3 consecutive games on that homestand. On the outer edge, a strike. Torrey now with 10 RBIs. Kinsler has 11. Ball 1, 1-1.
Santiago, a left-hander, works off that third base side of the pitching rubber, and what that allows him to do, it allows him to get that cut fastball and his four-seam fastball inside on the right-handed batters.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike now on Torrey.
He's already thrown quite a few fastballs inside, whether they be four-seamers and that cutter that he is featuring as well, but he has missed with a lot of those fastballs. He's thrown 21 total pitches, and he's only hit the strike zone with 7 of them.
Yeah, that's not a ratio he can continue. The 2-1. Two and 2 the count. Torrey trying to drive in a 2-out run here in support of Porcello, who gave up a run in the first. Kinsler's hustle helped tie this one up here in the bottom of the first inning. Now Santiago steps off as he takes too much time, and Hunter steps out. Santiago last year 4-9 with the White Sox, but a really good ERA at 3.56. Worked out of the bullpen and the rotation as well. That is popped up left side of the infield. Ibar, the shortstop, camping. That'll be it for Detroit. However, they capitalize on 3 errors on 1 play and some hustle from Ian Kinsler, and it's a 1-1 ball game. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Ram Trucks, Ram 1500 is Motor Trend's 2014 Truck of the Year and first ever back-to-back champion. And by Kellogg's Pop-Tarts, the best to you each morning. Some of the sights on Phantom Cam here at the ballpark. We've had a lot going on early in this game. Tigers won, Angels won, and Rick Porcello back to the hill now, as the Angels send Hank Conger to the dish to start things off. And Conger looks at a ball high. 7, 8, 9 for Mike Scioscia. Conger, Bosch, and Ibar. Conger played yesterday, did not play Friday. Was 1 for 3 in yesterday's contest. The 1-0. Darts low and in. 2 balls, no strikes. Conger is a former first-round pick of the Angels back in 2006. Chopper to the second baseman, Kinsler. Sunday hop for Ian. 1 gone. Now the former Tiger, Brennan Bosch. A Southern California kid who has found a home now in Southern California with the Angels.
It's got to be a treat for Brennan. I'm sure it's a little hectic at times because you have family and friends that are always asking you for tickets once he does get back to Anaheim. But it is something to play for one of the teams that you grew up watching, although he is a Dodgers fan, or he grew up a Dodgers fan.
He is also the pride of Santa Monica, after, of course, Rod Allen.
Yes, indeed.
Here's the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike on Bosch.
You had a chance to get down to Santa Monica when you went out to watch your Spartans in the Rose Bowl, and you also got down there when we made our trip out west. You like it so much.
You know what? You've been telling me for years that your hometown is a really sweet place to be, and now I agree. I've been able to check out Santa Monica, the pier, the beach. Really nice area. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Bosch. My question to you is, how did you ever get any homework done as a kid living in Santa Monica?
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't get that memo.
That's an honest answer. Tough to do homework when the beach is calling. Now Porcello ready with the 1-2. Here it is. Outside, 2-2.
That's a good idea there by Avila and also Porcello to throw the fastball up to Bosch to see if he'll chase it. But the problem with that is he threw it too far outside, and Bosch really didn't even think about swinging at that pitch. He saw it out of Rick's hand that it was going to be a ball.
Pulled fair inside the bag at first base. Bosch motoring towards second, and he'll get in there easily with a stand-up double. His first of the year.
Bosch did not chase the fastball up, and then Porcello came back downstairs with a breaking ball, and Bosch able to hit it right between the bag and Victor Martinez for his first double of this season. When Bosch first came up a few years ago, I know I did, and I know a lot of Tigers fans thought that he was going to be the right fielder for the next 10 years here at Comerica Park. That's how well he performed when he first came up a few seasons ago.
Ibar looks at a strike. Yeah, I mean, he showed a lot of the things that you look at and you say, wow, this guy could be a star. I mean, he runs well. He can hit with power. Bosch got off to a great start. He hit a ton of home runs in just a half a season for the Tigers. Ibar waits on the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's why it's so difficult to have longevity at this level and to really be successful, because once the opposing pitchers and pitching coaches kind of figure out a remedy to get you out, then you have to recognize that. Then you have to make those necessary adjustments, which is going to allow you to make some adjustments to have success again.
Here's the 1-1. Avila able to smother it. The other thing I recall Jim Leland saying about Brennan is that he just couldn't get him to relax when things started to go south a little bit. You know, all players will go through slumps, and it's how you react to those slumps that will decide whether or not you'll have a long career.
It's called slowing the game down. And the game at this level is fast enough as it is. But if you're, you know, consciously putting pressure, constantly, I should say, putting pressure on yourself, it's not going to happen for you.
2-1 is a chopper to the shortstop. Romine has it. Ibar is out. Advance the runner to third base. Our predictions for today's Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's new Bacon Clubhouse Burger, are, I've got Nick Castellanos today.
Well, I took Porcello. I mean, he's due to have a good start against these Angels. He was 0-2 last year against them, and I'm not even going to let you know what the ERA was.
Well, Keats is going with Ian Kinsler, and he's off to a good start in this game.
What is it with Keats and these nice picks every day?
I don't know, but he keeps puffing his chest out.
Is he studying or something?
He must be. You got to deal with, hey, I got the player of the game again yesterday.
Well, he does, what, a 30-minute show, and then he gets to go to the house every day. He's got a lot of time to study.
Banker's hours. 0-1 on J.B. Shuck. Shuck bounced out back in the first. The 0-1 pitch. Lifted back out of play. 0-2 on Shuck.
Porcello looks good today. His fastball is firm. His four-seam fastball, the one he just threw to Shuck, was 93 miles an hour. Of course, he usually works right around 88 to 89. That's where he gets the good tilt on the fastball, and that's why he gets so many ground balls. He's also mixed in a few curveballs and that changeup.
One out double by Bosch. He's at third now with 2 outs. Shuck homered in the ball game yesterday to start things off. It was his 2nd home run of the year, which equaled his entire total of last year. 1-2. Shuck's got a little thing that he does.
What, on the foul ball? He smells the bat, the burning wood.
Here's the 1-2. And that's fouled back out of play.
And Shuck yesterday led off the contest against Max Scherzer, and he fouled off one. And then on the very next pitch, he homered into right field. Nice short swing, but all he did was make Maxwell angry, because Max went on to pitch an outstanding game. 7 innings, 9 strikeouts, only gave up 3 hits.
2-2 the count on Shuck. I'm still not getting the whole smelling the bat thing after a foul ball, though. It's kind of a quirk, I suppose. 2-2. Mike Trout on deck. Chopper to the second baseman. Kinsler has been busy already today. So nothing comes to the 1-out double. They strand Bosch. Fan photo for a chance to have it shown on our broadcast later in the game today. It's brought to you by AT DET. It's hashtag Detroit Fan Photo. Happy Easter to all of you tuning in here this afternoon. Tigers and Angels wrapping up this series. Great to see the kids back out at the ballpark. The sun's shining. Nice day. It appears that summer is not too far. Here is Austin Jackson to start things off. Castellanos to follow. And Santiago missing inside. He had a rough first inning in terms of his ratio, through just 9 strikes in that first inning. Out of his 23 total pitches. The 1-0. Jackson hitting .320. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Up and in. 2-1 on Jackson. Austin already this year with 4 sacrifice flies. Here's the 2-1. That's in the air, slicing away from Bosch, who's on a dead sprint, coming over in foul ground to make the catch. Well, he turned on the jets to get to that ball. 1 out now for Castellanos. What do you got on Castellanos, Rod? It looks like, I mean, he's had some really good at-bats, batting .256 right now. He's hit a couple of homers.
He is starting to make some adjustments as well. Yesterday in the game, a 2-0 fastball. The first time he came up from C.J. Wilson, he turned on it and hit a missile out of the ballpark for a 2-run home run, his second home run of the season. And that's one of the things that Wally Joyner is trying to get Castellanos to do a little bit more of in this particular count. 1-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-1. Don't look to drive the ball to right center field. Get greedy. Drive something to left field.
Uh-oh. Like that. Looked like he pulled it, though, way high, and it's going to go foul.
Here is that home run yesterday. He hit off C.J. Wilson. That's a little fastball down and in. He turned on it. So many times this year we've watched him try to take that same pitch and drive it the other way. But take a look at it in slow motion, how he opens those hips up and he pulls those hands close enough, and he's looking to turn that on that ball because he catches it out in front. And that's why the ball goes to left field. That's just a wonderful shot there.
One ball and one strike on Castellanos. C.J. Wilson on the right, the starter yesterday for the Halos.
Probably talking about that home run he gave up to Castellanos.
Probably is. So Jared Weaver threw a really nice game on Friday, and this is what Wilson did yesterday. Walked 3, gave up 4 runs, 7 hits. Here's the 1-2. Spray another one foul down the right field line. There's been a big disparity in first pitch strikes. Porcello has gone 9 of 10 to start this game. Santiago just 2 of 7.
It's a tough way to live if you're Santiago. Always falling behind the hitter. And sooner or later the Tigers will make him play.
Nick 2 out of 6 in the series, including the home run. Santiago last year started the season in the bullpen, then was moved to the rotation when Gavin Floyd was lost for the year. Here's the 1-2. Got him, strike 3. That time Nick took it over the heart of the plate. 2 gone. First strikeout of the game. Well, see the Tigers battle the White Sox this Wednesday at 7:08, and guess what? The first 10,000 fans receive a free DVD of Anibal Sanchez's 17 strikeout performance, courtesy of Fox Sports Detroit. 866-66-TIGER for information, or visit tigers.com. One of the more dominating performances we saw last year. Here's Avila with 2 outs. Here's Anibal. Avila looks at ball 1. 1 for 4 in the series for Alex.
And a slight shift on Alex. Ibar, the shortstop, is fairly close to right behind the second base bag. Everybody else shifted over to their left as well.
2-0.
He continues to fall behind just about every hitter. And it does Santiago.
And Avila not afraid to take his walk. He has 6 this year, which is tied for the team lead. Here's the 2-0. High, 3-0. Number 9 hitter waiting on deck, Romine. That's it for a strike. 3-1. Avila taking all the way. Each ball club getting a run in the first. Tigers got theirs without the benefit of a hit. 3 errors on 1 play by the Angels scored a run. 3-2 now on Avila.
Had to get some new wood after that swing.
Yeah, that did not sound good. So we'll get that one ready for a charity auction. 3-2. Hey, there's a crowd out in right field. The 416 bar out there. They're enjoying themselves on a nice sunny day here on Easter Sunday.
I went out there yesterday afternoon, and you can see why they have so much fun out there. That is the place to be.
Another foul back out of play. So what you're saying is, as the weather warms up and it becomes nice and toasty at the ballpark, get some big crowds out there, that's going to be a hopping place.
No doubt. I mean, they've obviously got the spot where you can get the beverages out there, but they've got some seats out there. They've got swivel chairs. They've got everything out there. I mean, they got a team shop out there. They got the seats up top above the jungle. I mean, they got it going on out there. It is a very popular place, as you can see.
Again, the 3-2, and he got him strike three. Avila caught looking, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Santiago. Tigers baseball today on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
Caught up with the Comerica Bank game summary. Albert Pujols singled with 2 outs. Ian Stewart with a bunt single, followed by a base hit by Howie Kendrick. 11th run driven in by Kendrick, and the wheels kind of fell off for the Angels in the first inning. Ian Kinsler running on the 3-2 pitch. Conger, the catcher, threw it in the center field. Trout, the center fielder, retrieved it. He threw it away, and then their starting pitcher Santiago got it, threw it home plate, and then he made a bad throw, and Kinsler came all the way around to score on a base on balls.
So Mike Trout will lead it off now as we go to the top of the third here at Comerica. And Porcello starts him off up high with a fastball 1-0. Trout now is fanned on 5 consecutive at bats. He struck out all 4 times yesterday.
And that's one of the pitches that he has been swinging at, that elevated fastball.
Fouled back out of play, 1-1.
Very dangerous hitter on breaking balls that are over the plate. Outstanding hand-eye coordination and a really quick bat.
Here's the 1-1. 2-1 on Trout. Scherzer struck him out 3 times yesterday, and the last and only other pitcher to strike out Mike Trout 3 times in a single game was Tommy Milone of the A's last year. It didn't happen all that often. Strike call, 2-2. There's Mad Max. I love the way he bounced back after that leadoff home run yesterday. It didn't faze him at all.
Not at all. It made him angry. It was nice to see a Tigers starter go more than 5 innings too, because they had gone pretty much through the rotation where just about every last one of their starters only lasted 5 innings because of the pitch counts.
Yeah, and Brad Ausmus said as much yesterday after the game how important it was to at least give the bullpen some sort of a break. Numbers on Max: 7 innings in his 111 pitches, only 3 hits.
Yeah, Rick's got to get that fastball up a little higher if that's the way that they want to get Trout out again.
Broken bat, soft liner to first, and gloved by Cabrera. 1 out. Or Martinez, rather, beg your pardon. Let's go to the studio now for game break. We check in with Mickey York. All right, Mick, thanks very much. Here, each team got a run in the first. And Albert Pujols stands in. Takes a breaking ball away, 1-0.
Albert, his legs are a lot stronger this year after playing in only 99 games last year. And he really worked on his legs in the offseason. He got a lot stronger. And it makes a difference when he is healthy. Boy, he can hit that ball hard.
Castellanos will gobble that one up and throw him out. 2 gone. A couple of quick outs for Porcello and a couple of really good hitters. Here's Ian Stewart. Rick has surrendered 4 hits in this game, but only 1 run. Stewart had the bunt single, and despite that, the Tigers once again will employ that shift that they used in the first inning as well. Castellanos getting his running in as he runs from third into short right field. Matt Martin, the defensive coordinator for the Detroit Tigers, was saying, you know, every now and then you're going to get burned in the short term when you employ some of these shifts, but they're thinking long term and they're looking at numbers and statistics which indicate over the long haul you'll get some outs that you won't normally get.
And one of the keys, too, is to playing this kind of shift is the Tigers have the kind of starting rotation, guys that throw the ball over the plate efficiently, which would allow them to overplay different hitters because their pitchers usually hit their spots.
1-1. Bouncer to the left side of the infield. Romine's going to take care of it. And the inning is over. It's a 1-2-3 frame for Rick Porcello, who's looking good on Easter Sunday here at the ballpark. Hope the Easter Bunny made a visit to your home today. 1-1 ball game. Look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game. It is brought to you by Miller Lite. Tigers and Angels in a 1-1 contest here. Hector Santiago back to the hill, and he will face Andrew Romine, Rajai Davis, and Ian Kinsler in the Tigers' bottom of the third. 1 run, 4 hits for the Halos. The Tigers 1 run, no hits. Santiago had himself a 1-2-3 second. In fact, he had a couple of strikeouts. So he righted the ship a little bit after a bumpy first. Romine, the former Angel, digs in.
47 games last year for Romine with the Halos. Played some second base, played some shortstop, and also played some third base.
Of course, the Tigers made that move today. They parted ways with Alex Gonzalez, who was given his release, and Danny Wirth had his contract purchased from AAA Toledo, so Wirth is with the ball club.
Wirth will get an opportunity to play the next few days as the Tigers go up against a lot of left-handed pitching when the White Sox come to town.
Now the 2-0 pitch.
And I have a feeling that Danny Wirth is going to get an opportunity this time around to really show what he can do. He really has never had that. He's always been up and down, spot starts here and there. But I think with Brad Ausmus and the way that they like the way that he can field the baseball, if he hits the way he did in spring training and the way he started down in Toledo, he's going to get a really nice long look.
Well, that's the key thing there, because Danny had to be extremely disappointed coming out of spring camp. I think he thought he had the team made and then was sent down. Here's a drive to right field, base hit. And now, instead of pouting going down there, he goes down there, swings the bat really well, and he's back up with the big club, and he'll, as you mentioned, get his opportunity now.
He is a top-notch defender. His best position is probably shortstop, but he can also play second. He can also play third, but really it's not his defense that had kept him out of the big leagues. It's been his bat. They just said Gonzalez just was not giving them the range at shortstop that they had hoped that he would give them the first couple of weeks of the year.
Here's Rajai Davis. Davis fly to center field his first time up. Pops up a bunt, foul.
You have to be careful if you're trying to bunt for a base hit against a guy like Santiago, who likes to live at the top of the strike zone with that 88 to 89 mile per hour fastball. If you attempt to bunt it, usually you're going to pop it up.
Rajai's hit safely in 10 of his last 11. Fouled away, and now the count is 0-2.
He's going to continue to throw Rajai up in the top of the strike zone until he lays off of it. Rajai popped up his first time up on that same pitch right there. Two totally different pitchers today. Santiago, a fly ball pitcher, and Rick Porcello is a ground ball pitcher. Most of Rick's outs have come via the ground ball, and most of the outs recorded so far by Santiago have been fly balls or pop-ups.
Inside, backed him out of there. 1-2 the count on Rajai Davis. We talk about the job that Davis has done as a table setter for the Tigers so far this year. .412 on base percentage, and of course, whether he's batting first or ninth, he's been getting on base at a pretty good clip.
Now, if that's a number that he can really improve on and continue to do that all year long, it's going to be a stellar season for Davis with his speed if he's getting on base like that.
Now the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, Rajai is really a great story. He was not a very high draft choice. In fact, he was a very late draft choice early on in his career, and fought the odds and got to the big leagues. But at every stop that he has been, he has always stolen a lot of bases. That's going to miss, and all of a sudden from 0-2 we've gone to 3-2.
Well, another decision to be made here by Brad Ausmus. Does he allow Romine to take off here on the 3-2 offering from Santiago with nobody out?
Let us see. Romine leading it off with a single here in the third. For Santiago, you can't be really thrilled about the fact that you've had 5 3-ball counts in the 10 batters that you've faced already in this game. So he continues to get behind. He still has thrown more balls than strikes. Romine draws another throw. Romine certainly getting more of an opportunity to play here in Detroit than he would have been with the Angels, who have Eric Ibar. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second. Tag is not in time. Whoa. Howie Kendrick disagrees with that call.
Oh, it looked like a great slide there by Romine.
Wow, I think it was.
That is the one thing with these new rules and the replay system nowadays. You're going to have to tag the base runner.
That's a good point.
Because if you do not tag the base runner, regardless of whether that ball beats you or not, because last year, Romine is out right there. There's no question about that.
It used to be if the ball beats you to the bag, you're out.
All you had to do was swipe the tag down there. But now they're forcing the middle infielders and all infielders to make sure they keep that glove down there long enough to apply the tag. No more just swiping through there like you've tagged the guy. And that's a great slide there by Romine.
Here's another look right there. You see he's going to miss the tag right there. And then by the time he does finally touch him. Good call. Jerry Davis down at second base with that call. Mike Scioscia, as he went out there, probably got the signal saying don't challenge it. He was out. So here is Kinsler now with 1 on 1 out. Ian walked and scored his first time. On the outer edge, strike one.
Ian off to a pretty nice job with runners in scoring position. He's always going to get something to hit as long as number 24 is hitting behind him. And he's just kind of been unselfish, taking the ball up the middle, taking the ball the opposite way, playing in spacious Comerica Park.
Fouled straight back. Do you think the new replay situation has created some awkward situations for managers and umpires, and managers go out there and kind of stall to see what their guys are telling them?
I do. I think it has created some awkward situations. I think Major League Baseball will continue to tweak the replay system during this year and into next year.
The 0-2. Bouncing ball, shortstop side, fielded there by Ibar. Kinsler is out.
Yesterday there was a situation where Cabrera was on second base and Torrey Hunter hit a fly ball to center field to Mike Trout. And he tagged up. He got to third base. Initially was called out. But then after they took a look at the replay, they noticed that Miguel got that left foot in there before the tag was applied by Ian Stewart. And then all of a sudden, Austin Jackson comes up and hits his fourth sacrifice fly of the season.
Well, we'll see now if the Tigers get a 2-out hit here from Cabrera with a man at third. Miggy had that walk back in the first inning. That resulted in the end in 3 throwing errors, which allowed the Tigers to score a run. Mike Trout committed one of the errors. Conger had one of the errors, and the pitcher Santiago had the third. All on the same play. Fouled away 1-1. Meanwhile, Kinsler noticed a poor throw from the outfield and broke home from third base, and with a head first dive was able to score. Right at the belt for a strike. Miggy thought it might have been a tad high.
Good fastball there thrown by Santiago at 92. Four-seam fastball.
checked it. Did he go? Negative. Quinn Walcott at first base said he held up.
Reached back to get 94 that time.
Way outside that time, and Cabrera would not bite, so it's 3-2. Victor waiting on deck. Here's the 3-2. Got him. Strike three. Cabrera caught looking. And now Santiago with 4 strikeouts. Tigers strand a man at third. We've played 3 here in the Motor City. Park, Angels and the Tigers tied at 1 as promised earlier in the game. We had the AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to hashtag Detroit fan photo for a chance to be shown on one of our broadcasts, brought to you by AT&T. Robert Melrose, congratulations, you are our AT&T fan photo of the day.
Looked like Robert took him selfie there.
It's become extremely popular.
Oh,
I see you taking selfies in the booth all the time.
Beyond popular.
Rick Porcello back to work facing Howie Kendrick, who got him for an RBI single his first time up. And Kendrick now has 5 runs driven in the series. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rick got him 1, 2, 3 in the third. Gave up 3 straight hits in the first inning. That's how the Angels got their first run. Kendrick shoots another one the other way, but this goes foul. 1-2. Howie Kendrick in his 9th season now in an Angels uniform. Freeze on deck, and then Hank Conger. The 1-2. Wouldn't bite. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kendrick has hit 73 home runs in his career now, which is second all time among Angels second basemen. Only Bobby Grich in their history has hit more. That's rolled foul. 2-2 the count stays. Trying to get something started here in the 4th. What happened here? Hey, Barry, look out. Barry Hedman, our cameraman down there at third, wanted no part of that. Another foul back out of play. And Barry, I don't blame you. 2-2 the count. The pitch count by inning for Rick Porcello. There's another base hit to right field. Howie Kendrick again goes the other way. He's 2 for 2. So the Angels get the leadoff man on.
It's what Howie does best. That's a fastball that is up at the top of the zone, and he gets on top of it and smashes that base hit to right field. Man, he's a really good hitter, driving the ball in that direction. Doesn't pull the ball that often, but man, can he go in that direction really well.
Here's David Freese. What is inherent in the swing of Howie Kendrick that allows him to do that consistently?
He's a good high ball hitter, first of all. Good fastball hitter, good high ball hitter. But take a look at all the hits this year to right field. And then he does something that Miguel Cabrera does well. We've talked about the fact that Castellanos also does it very well. Is they get their hands really close to their body, and that allows the barrel of the bat to get to the heart of the plate in an angle which allows you to hit lots of balls in that direction. It's all about the angle of the bat when contact is made. And guys like Kendrick, guys like Miggy, guys like Castellanos, they practice that daily.
So Kendrick now 2 for 2 and 6 hits in this 3-game series.
Well, Socia knows that Porcello throws lots of ground balls. Therefore, we might see some activity here.
Like right now, runner goes, and that's fouled off of Vila.
That's just a smart play there by Mike Socia, who obviously gives the signs to Gary DiSarcina, who is the third base coach, to start the base runners. And the reason why you start the base runners, you don't want to throw yourself into a double play. Porcello's already thrown tons of ground balls today.
There's the former Angel shortstop, Gary DiSarcina, their new third base coach this year.
And something else that it does there by putting the hit and run on there with Freese, it helps Freese get going too, because he's struggling right now. You take all the guesswork out of it for him. He knows he had to swing at that pitch.
Yeah, Freese has gotten off to a 151 start. He's actually down to 148 now with his 0 for 1 today. The World Series MVP back in 2011. What a magical run that was for Freese in the postseason.
He is from St. Louis too,
which made it extra special. One and 2 on Freese. In fact, he had the walk-off home run in Game 6 for the game winner. And Conger will be next. Angels a run on 5 hits. The Tigers a run on 1 hit. And the 1-2, swing and a miss. Struck him out. Freese out of there.
Is it just me, or have you noticed some of the other pitchers, Porcello and also Sanchez, adopting the method of holding runners close that Max Scherzer has done so far? Max Scherzer has really slowed down the running game. As we look at that changeup thrown there to Freese, he swings at it and strikes out. But I'm noticing Porcello and also Sanchez do the same thing. You
took the words right out of my mouth. That's the longest I've seen Rick wait on a pitch before delivering it to try and throw the runner at first base off balance. And yeah, you're right. I think we've seen Sanchez do it more. I think it's something the Tigers consciously now, and their starting pitchers are beginning to incorporate. Here's Hank Conger, which means I guess you don't have to have a fabulous move to affect the running game.
You don't. And Porcello, he's pretty quick getting the ball over there, but by him adding this other dimension to the way that he keeps base runners from getting a good jump, it's only going to help him out more, and it's also going to give Avila time to throw because guys aren't going to get great jumps. 6 steals last year for Howie Kendrick, 14 the season before that. So he has the ability to steal a bag, but you wouldn't consider him a true base stealer.
Conger is 0 for 1. He bounced out. That was back in the second. Porcello could use another ground ball here. And he's giving Kendrick a workout.
Oh, he's going to get that ground ball. He's going to get that double play to get out of this inning. That's why he's paying so much attention to Howie Kendrick over there. He's not going to let him steal second base.
Conger looks at a ball low, 1-0. Conger is a Southern California kid. He went to high school in Huntington Beach, California. When he was a first-round pick of the Angels, they drafted him out of high school. He was born in Federal Way, Washington, 26 years old. And time called as Porcello was about to deliver the baseball, and he stopped his motion to the plate. That's about as late a timeout call as you're going to get.
That's why some pitching coaches, when the hitter is given time this late, they will tell their pitchers, just go ahead and lob it up there. Just go ahead and throw it. Time has already been called.
Here's the 1-0. Conger looks at ball 2 outside. Conger, as a little leaguer, was on the Ocean View Little League team, which fell just 1 game short of going to the Little League World Series when he was a 12-year-old. Here's Bosch waiting on deck. Foul tip. 2-1.
All 3 pitches that Porcello has thrown to Conger have been off-speed pitches. 1 curveball and 2 changeups. And the reason why you throw those off-speed pitches in this situation is you want to get that hitter out on that front foot. You want to keep him off balance, and that will usually get you a ground ball.
Threw that one by him, and the count evens now 2-2. Conger 1 out of 4 in the series. Did not play Friday. Caught the game yesterday. Runner goes. Here's the throw down to second, and the tag is waiting for Kendrick.
Howie Kendrick could not get a good jump against Porcello, but yet he still tried to force the issue. Alex Avila had a wonderful, wonderful throw down to second base.
Outstanding throw, and Romine was waiting with the tag.
And see, that's where guys are going to kind of get hurt. I don't mean it in a bad way, but you see how long Romine had to hang in there,
right,
to make sure he applied the tag? And that could have been a knee to the helmet there.
High fly ball, right center field. Hunter is under it, and the inning is over. So nothing comes of the leadoff single. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left, and Victor Martinez will lead things off in the bottom of the 4th.
The throw out by Avila of Howie Kendrick on a fastball up and away. Kendrick does not get a good jump. Outstanding footwork by Avila. Outstanding throw down to second base. But look at when the ball gets in the glove of Romine, how far Kendrick is away from the bag. In years past, when the ball's in the glove now, all you have to do now as a infielder is just swipe down there and then you will get the out call. But look how long he has to stay in there and wait for the base runner to get there. Those are some of the things that have changed now with the new rules.
And as you mentioned, that easily could have been a helmet to the knee, but you can't just swipe and get out of there. You've got to wait now. Here's a Phantom Cam look at it.
Howie was thrown out by about 7 feet.
You don't normally see that. What a throw by Avila. So it's still 1-1 as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning, and it'll be Victor Martinez leading it off. Corey Hunter to follow, and then Austin Jackson. 327 this year for Victor. Flight out to right field his first time up. Pulls that one foul.
It's funny how we did a pregame today with John Keating, and we were talking about base running and some of the plays that have been overturned. And do you think it's going to change the way guys run the bases? I said no, but it is going to change exactly what we explained there. Guys have to keep that glove down there long enough to apply tags.
Santiago now with the 0-2. 1-2 the count on Martinez.
Effectively wild, I guess you could say. Santiago has been here today. He's only given up 1 hit, but he's thrown 63 pitches, and he's only thrown 33 strikes with those 63 pitches.
Fouled away. So Martinez continues to battle here with 2 strikes in the count, and that's something Victor has done all season long. He has struck out just twice this year.
Great hand-eye coordination, whether he is batting left-handed or right-handed. And it's not the easiest thing to do, maintain 2 swings during the course of the season when you're a switch hitter.
That'll bounce in 2-2.
There's that screwball that Santiago will feature on occasion. Nothing like the screwball that Mr. Fernando Valenzuela used to throw, though. You see him turn it over.
I saw Fernando in the press box in L.A. on the last road trip.
Yeah, I did too.
He looks like he's still in pretty good shape. There's a ball outside.
That's that California living.
He was never a real slim fellow, but I'm just saying he looked like he could still pitch. 3-2. So Victor has gone from behind in the count to ahead in the count.
He is over on that rubber, that third base side, about as far as you could go.
Popped up. Shallow right field. It's going to be a tough play, maybe. Nope, Bosch will get there.
Bosch must be playing awfully deep today because there's been a few pop-ups in his direction that he's really had to get on his horse to come in and make a play on.
1 gone here in the fourth inning, and that will bring up Torrey Hunter. Got to get Torrey going now. I heard you as well talk in the pregame show about the Tigers offense and how it certainly looks different this year, and how, again, yesterday some good examples of manufacturing runs, but once Hunter and Cabrera gets going, it's a whole different dimension.
No doubt. Yeah, Brad Ausmus will be able to do a lot more things. There will be a lot more traffic on the base paths, and we'll see a few more hit and runs with some of the other guys, some of the table setters.
There's a base hit to right field. Torrey goes the other way. Tigers have their second hit of the afternoon.
Torrey Hunter hit 300 last year. He also hit 300 in 2012, his final season for the Angels, and that is a part of Torrey's game that he's adopted the last few years, driving the ball the other way. He's not a dead pull hitter as he was when he first came to the big leagues.
Now Jackson, who flied out his first time up. The only other Tigers hit was the Romine single that started the third.
Santiago has pitched aggressively inside to a lot of these right-handed hitters, but it has been off the plate inside. But nonetheless, he is not afraid to go in there.
When we saw Santiago with the White Sox, he always seemed to be the guy that didn't get any run support. His record was never really very good, but his ERA was in the low threes with Chicago. As you look at his breakdown, 70 pitches now.
Yeah, he had a few good starts against the Tigers, but he didn't beat the Tigers, but he kept the damage down. He didn't do a lot of damage against Santiago.
Here's the 2-0. 3-0 now on Jackson. Castellanos waiting on deck. So eventually the pitch count will catch up to Santiago. It's at 71 right now here in the fourth. Right now trying to navigate through the Tigers lineup. Strike call, 3-1.
These Angels play deep defensively in the outfield. Shuck, Trout, and Bosch, all three at their respective positions, all playing very deep.
Hunter at first with a 1-out single. Strike call, 3-2. Angels last year were 78-84. They finished 18 games back and in third place in the American League West. And then early this season suffered an injury from Josh Hamilton. Torrey was leaning towards second, indicating he may be off and running here with a 3-2 count, 1 out. Nope, he's going to hold, and it's fouled straight back. Dave Clark going through his signals down at third base. I'm going to call him the most animated third base coach we've had here, maybe ever.
He has a lot of fun down there. He enjoys his job, you can tell. DC. Dave could hit too. Dave was a good hitter.
And he missed high, ball 4. So the Tigers now get a couple of base runners. 2 on, 1 out. By the way, Detroit Tigers 6-game flex plans are on sale now for as little as $110. You can see 6 Tigers games of your choice. Call 313-471-BALL today or visit tigers.com. So something brewing here now for the Tigers. They have runners at first and second. Castellanos coming up. We'll see if the bottom of the lineup can cash in here.
Castellanos, his first time up, he got several fastballs from Santiago. He finally struck out looking on a good fastball inside. If you're Castellanos with a runner in scoring position, you sit on your fastball early and you make adjustments to your breaking ball.
Fouled away, 0-1.
He was sitting on his fastball. It was a first pitch fastball at 90 miles an hour that Castellanos just could not get to. Actually, it leaked back over the heart of the plate. Conger wanted it inside.
Driven to center field, hit well. Trout going back, still drifting in front of the warning track. Hunter will tag up at second. He'll go to third, and the Tigers now have him at the corners. And that's going to leave it up to Alex Avila. Santiago struck him out. That was back in the second. Tigers got a 1-out single from Torrey, a walk to Jackson. It was the third walk of the game for Hector Santiago. Now lefty-lefty matchup here. And Avila takes strike one. Alex still in search of that first RBI of the regular season. Hit over 300 this spring for the Tigers. That'll break outside. 1 ball and 1 strike, and the next pitch now will be the 80th of this game for the lefty Santiago. Tigers trying to cash in with men at first and third. Avila could not hold up. He went around. Phil Cuzzy says strike two. Pitch count by inning now on Santiago. Hit 23 in the first, but you see he's 3 times now have gone 20 or better in a single inning. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Tipped into the glove for strike 3, and the Tigers' threat goes by the wayside. They will strand a pair here in the 4th inning. April in the D here at the ballpark. Red Wings fans, big day for them as well. Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Arby's. Try Arby's 2 for $5 mix and match deal today. Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. And by AT&T, mobilizing your world. Back here at Comerica Park.
Hi, Abby.
Okie dokie then. Got a large Easter Sunday crowd here at the ballpark today, including a lot of youngsters, and we appreciate you tuning in as well. Tigers and Angels wrapping up this series. It'll be Bosch to lead it off. Bosch, Ibar, and Shuck facing the right-hander Porcello. We're in the top of the 5th inning in a 1-1 game. Bosch had a double, but did not score his first time up. And he shoots the first one on the ground off the glove of Porcello. Kinsler out at first base. And here comes Mike Scioscia. He's not wasting any time on this one.
Well, Quinn Walcott, he waited before he made the call. He wanted to make sure that he saw what he thought he saw, that Brennan Bosch did not beat the play out. But Scioscia got up and got out there in a hurry, and he'll find out whether his people feel like he should challenge it or not. I guess they don't feel like he should challenge it. Great call.
Yep.
He really took his time, too, did Quinn Walcott.
So Bosch has nipped at the wire.
That's another reason why, too, they tell you not to jump like Bosch did there at the end. If you just continue to run through that bag, you're going to get there faster than if you take that real long leap at the end. Take a look at this leap here.
But your instincts tell you something else.
Well, you want to get there, but the fastest way to get there is to keep your feet moving and running, not jumping for the bag. But you see guys do it all the time.
Every single time, actually. There's a strike called on Ibar. Phantom Cam gives you a look at the leap by Bosch. Pull down the right field line. Typically, managers won't run out that quickly as Scioscia did. I mean, he came jumping out of the dugout and sprinted toward first base. Usually, they want to give their replay guy a little bit of an opportunity to look at it. That's the quickest I've seen Mike move. But he eventually got the signal, do not challenge it.
Longest tenured manager in the game as we speak. 15th season with the Angels.
Here's the 1-2.
You just do not see that very often these days. A manager with one team for 15 years.
And he is signed through 2018. Meanwhile, a long tenured manager and a first-year manager. Brad Ausmus in his first season. Going to have to hurry here. The shovel to first. Nice job by Martinez to get it to Porcello. 2 gone.
You got to hurry too with Ibar running down that line. Ibar does have some speed, but Porcello able to get there well ahead of the speedy Ibar.
Nice leading throw by Martinez, who does not play a whole lot of first base. Brad Ausmus getting Cabrera off his feet today. Miggy DHing. Here's J.B. Shuck. Strike 1 on Shuck. Twice today, Shuck has grounded to the second baseman Kinsler. Good pitch, 0-2. That's in the air, shallow center field. Jackson coming in. Porcello is going to have himself a 1-2-3 inning. And as we go to the bottom of the 5th, Tigers baseball today presented by Bell Tire. fifth inning. So far, so good for Rick Porcello. Mario and Rod back here. Happy Easter, Rod. I got you.
I'll take it too, but I need some chocolate.
There's some chocolate in there, but we wish you a happy Easter as well. Rick Porcello has done a really good job today.
Well, he has not had a whole lot of success against the Angels in his career, but today he's kind of flipped the script a little bit. Some high fastballs, four-seam fastballs. He's still getting tons of ground balls. The breaking ball's been a very good pitch for him as well, but the Tigers just have not been able to figure out his counterpart today, Hector Santiago.
Yeah, Santiago's been kind of living on the edge. His ball-to-strike ratio not very good, but so far Santiago has allowed just the one run. We'll see if the Tigers can do something about that. Andrew Romine leads it off. We're in the bottom of the fifth inning, 1-1 ball game. Romine, then Davis, then Kinsler. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Whoa, we've seen a lot of this. 3 ball counts from Hector Santiago.
That's at least 7 of them. And he's only 8 of 18 in first pitch strikes, but the Tigers are not capitalizing on him when they do get themselves in these friendly fastball counts.
And a 4-pitch walk starts things off here in the fifth. It'll be 4 base on balls now for Santiago. There's that ratio again. You can see he is barely more strikes than balls in the 85 total that he has thrown. Like Butcher on the left there, their pitching coach has to be a little bit concerned with the pitch count here. The Angels certainly will go into the bullpen. There's Butcher. 9 3-ball counts in this game for the left-hander. So we'll see what the Tigers have in store here for Rajai Davis, with the leadoff man on.
First pitch is probably going to be a fastball up in the zone because they don't know whether Rajai's up there bunting or not.
And it's in for a strike. 0-1 on Davis. In tied at third base, Ian Stewart. Davis looks at a ball low. 1-1. Santiago came into this game with a lifetime ERA of 2.48 against the Tigers. Obviously, those starts with the Chicago White Sox and relief appearances. And that's in there for a strike, 1-2. But despite all the 3-ball counts, all the walks, he has allowed just 2 hits so far in this game. Missed again. 2-2 on Davis. Rajai, a strikeout and a fly ball. That one clearly off the plate. Big swing there for Rajai. And for Santiago, big strikeout. It's his 6th of the day, and that'll bring up Kinsler. One-on-one out. Kinsler had a walk and a run scored his first time up. Batting .323. Ian came into this game 9th in the American League in hitting. He also has a ground out. He bounced out back in the 3rd.
Really no secret to what Santiago is doing out there against Tigers hitters this afternoon. 74% of the pitches that he has thrown have been fastballs. All right around 87, whether it be that cutter or all the way up to 94 with his 4-seam fastball.
Runner goes. Conger's throw. Going to be late. Stolen base. Romine has his 2nd of the year.
He guessed correctly. And when you get the steal sign from your manager, you have to go on first movement. In the first movement that Santiago made toward home plate, Romine was off and running with a really good jump. It's a nice pick by Ibar down at second base, but not able to apply the tag.
So Romine, who will be sharing time with Danny Wirth now at the shortstop position, swiping second base. And Dino Ebel now having a chat with Mike Scioscia, the bench coach for the Angels. What's going on here? Santiago went out to third, had a chat with Stewart. Now he's having a little talk with Ibar. 0-1 on Kinsler. Way outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. There's only one active manager in baseball that has more wins than Mike Scioscia, and that would be Bruce Bochy of San Francisco. Scioscia second on that list. He's won over 1,200 games as a major league manager. Ball high, 2-1. Cabrera waiting on deck. Tigers trying to break this tie here in the 5th. A man in scoring position for Ian Kinsler. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
You don't usually see left-handers with a fastball that is around 90 to 91 consistently throw it by really good big league hitters. The Tigers are a good fastball hitting team, but they've struggled in that category this year. But the point I'm trying to make is Santiago hides the baseball very well. He doesn't give you a really good look at the ball, and that 90 miles an hour gets on you in a hurry.
Kinsler able to stay alive. Well, the Tigers are swiping quite a few more bases through 14 games. They have a total of 12. 2 more today, actually, bumps them up to 14. So they are taking advantage of a little bit more speed on their roster. There's a ball low and in. And now it's gone 3-2 on Kinsler. Meanwhile, that was pitch number 96 for Santiago, so he is creeping up toward 100. The 3-2 popped up middle of the infield. Kendrick to the grass, and the runner will hold. 2 gone. Well, it's April in the D on Fox Sports Detroit. Join us Tuesday, Game 3 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Red Wings head home to take on the Bruins. Game 3, Red Wings Bruins, Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Fox Sports Detroit. Good start for the Wings, winning Game 1, 1-0. Now there's some action in the bullpen. Michael Kahn is starting to warm up for the Halos. Here is Cabrera. And Miggy checks his swing, strike 1.
Nice breaking ball there thrown by Santiago. Backdoor breaking ball, started that ball off the plate. Miguel gave up on it, and it caught the outside corner.
Swing and a miss. 92 right above the belt, and the count goes 0-2. Conger flashing signs. Miggy laid off that one. Again, 92 above the belt. So that's an even 100 now for the lefty Santiago. And here's the breakdown. As you can see, not all that good, yet to this point he has given up only 1 run. Here's the 1-2. 2-2 on Cabrera. Martinez waiting on deck. Miguel so far this year with 7 RBIs. He needs 14 more to tie Cecil Fielder and Bill Freehand for 13th all-time in Tigers history. Checked it. They will appeal. No, he did not go. So it's 3-2. Angels at the start of a long road trip. They'll be heading to Washington next and then into New York. Romine started the inning with a walk, stole second base. 2 outs later, hoping Cabrera can knock him home. Lengthy battle between Cabrera and Santiago continues. Martinez on deck. Each team got a run in the first, and that has been it so far for this game. And again, the 3-2. Got him. Strike 3. Cabrera is caught looking again. 7 strikeouts for Hector Santiago. We go to the 6th. One of the more exciting players in the game, Mike Trout, who's getting the business from apparently Ironmans at the ballpark today. A couple of batting tips. Hey, Trout, you stink.
He's all in his ear, isn't he?
Look at Iron Man. Would you ever show up to the ballpark wearing that?
If they paid me enough money, I'd do it.
There's always a price, I suppose.
There's always a price.
So Trout will lead it off.
It had to be a whole lot, though.
We'll see if he utilizes the batting tips that he received. 0 for 2 in this game. Strikeout and line out.
Well, Trout's one of them guys you don't mess with. You don't wake him up. Rough day yesterday. 4 strikeouts. 3 by Max Scherzer, 1 by Joe Nathan. And he struck out his first time up today.
Had a couple of hits in the opening game of the series, but now 0 for his last 6, which would qualify, I guess, as a slump for Trout. The 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes.
Dangerous count here if you decide to throw Mike Trout a fastball.
Here's the 2-0.
Good pitch. Great pitch, as a matter of fact. 2-0 count to a dangerous fastball hitter. And so you throw him that curveball.
Two, 3, and 4 in the lineup. Pujols to follow. Missed it inside. 3-1. Here's the 3-1. 3-2 on Trout.
Tigers may be on to something here against Mike, because he's swung through quite a few of those exact same fastballs here the last couple days.
Which means the Nationals, their next opponent, probably taking notice.
You know that's right.
Here's the 3-2. And he walked him. Ooh, that was close. Leadoff man on. Let's see, first walk for Rick Porcello, who by and large has done a really good job this year of not walking too many batters. In fact, he only had 2 walks all season coming in.
Well, you go all the way back to last year. 31 of Rick's 34 starts, 2 or fewer walks in his starts.
Pretty good. Now here is Pujols.
Well, Trout, he's going to be on the move if he can get himself a good jump with Porcello on the mound. They don't want to hit into a double play.
Bender drops in inside part of the plate. Strike 1. Let's see. Albert right now sits at 498. Eddie Murray is next on that list. He's 25th all time. And then former Tiger Gary Sheffield at 24. Angels have a run on 5 hits. Tigers have a run on 2 hits. Albert today single, ground out, run scored. He's had 4 hits in the series. Trout has a couple of steals this year. Bouncing ball to short. Romine to his right. There's 1. Relay to first. There's 2. Taylor made with Pujols running. 6-4-3.
Well, Porcello able to keep the double play in order by not allowing Mike Trout to get a good jump to try to steal second base. And when Pujols hits it on the ground, it's pretty much a double play if there's less than 2 outs.
Here's Ian Stewart. Well, the double play ball gets Porcello out of any immediate trouble. Stewart had a bunt single setting up a run his first time up. He's going to try the same thing with that shift on. This time he laid it foul. Stewart did not play in the big leagues last year. He was at AAA. Spent 5 years with the Rockies, also some time with the Cubs. And he spent part of his offseason working with Rod Carew, a former Angel great. The 0-1. Lifted foul, back out of play.
Here is our high-speed pitch brought to you by Xfinity. And Porcello, with one of his four-seam fastballs, gotten up to 94, and that 77 reading is with his curveball.
So now Rick is out in front, 0-2 on Stewart. Got him, strike three, and Porcello pitches through the sixth. Rick with his third strikeout of the game. No runs, they get a walk, leave him empty, and we go to the bottom of the sixth inning. All right, Mickey, thank you. Here, the Tigers and the Angels, much more docile game here today. 1-1 is our score as we go to the bottom of the sixth. And the first pitch from Santiago is, guess what? Ball one.
The weather's not even warmed up yet in the Brewers and the Pirates. Already at it.
Yeah, usually you see the tempers flare in the heat of the summer.
Yeah, starts to get a little hot out.
Martinez, Hunter, Jackson here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Santiago has answered the bell here in the sixth. There's a strike called, 1-1. They do have some action in their bullpen. Jepson is warming up now. They had Kahn warming up a little bit earlier. Only 11 for 22 on first pitch strikes for Hector Santiago. Back out of play, 1-2. Kevin Jepson. Victor trying to extend his hitting streak. It's at 5 in a row. Two and two the count. Martinez also moving up on a milestone. He needs 4 hits for 1,500 in his career. Torrey waiting on deck. In the air. Right field for Bosch. So that is 3 fly ball outs to right field today for Martinez. Here's Torrey Hunter.
A lot of flyouts today and a lot of strikeouts today for Hector Santiago. Not many ground balls, but he's taking advantage of the strikeouts, and quite a few Tigers have popped up as well. Lots of fastballs up in the strike zone.
Infielders getting the day off today for the Angels. Torrey at 234. He singled in his last at bat. He went through the hole to the right side of the infield. His second hit in the series. Tigers yesterday snapping a 10-game losing streak to the Angels. Here's the 0-1. I mean, think about that. What the teams the Tigers have had here the past couple of years, to lose 10 straight to one team is kind of odd.
And the pitching the Tigers have had.
True.
I mean, Max and Verlander, Fister was here, Porcello, Sanchez the last year and a half.
Max got it done yesterday, snapping that string. Big rip there by Torrey. 1-2. Only 2 Detroit hits in this game against Santiago, despite his struggles in the control department. A single by Romine and a single by Torrey. That's it. Missed it low and away. 2-2. Tigers welcome in the Chicago White Sox beginning tomorrow. 4-game series coming up. Reaching out, slow roller towards short, Ibar in the run. Nice pick at first base by Albert. 2 up, 2 down. Well, as we mentioned, those White Sox are coming in beginning tomorrow night. They'll be here through Thursday. It's a 4-game series, and great seats are still available for that series. If you'd like tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. That game 2 matchup, Rod, is going to be something special, I would think.
A couple of aces going.
You got Verlander and Sale.
Oh, that would classify as a couple of aces for sure.
Both with ERAs in the low 2s, both very dominant.
Perennial all-stars.
Ball 1 to Jackson. Mr. Verlander is chilling out today. Here's the 1-0. 2-0 the count.
Verlander's got some sweet cars, man. I don't know what they are. But, man, he's got some sweet rides, man.
Every time you walk into the parking structure at the end of the game, there's a different one in his spot.
Man, oh, man.
Whatever it is, it's pretty sweet, though. By the way, his brother Ben, he's gotten off to a nice start at West Michigan.
What's he doing?
Well, he's hitting over 300, leads the team in RBIs. And he was an all-star last year in rookie ball.
Yeah, good for him. He got a couple of at-bats in big league spring training this year.
He did. Ball high. 3-0. Castellanos waiting on deck. Here's a walk for Jackson. It's going to bring Mike Socha out. The 5th walk of the game for Santiago will signal his end.
119 pitches thrown by Santiago this afternoon.
Wall side windows pitching change. Jepson will come in. 119 pitches today for Santiago.
Noon scores tied at 1-1, and the Tigers scored their one run back in the first inning. Kinsler on the move on a 3-2 pitch. Aaron throw into center field. Bad throw by the center fielder Trout, and another poor throw by Santiago, the pitcher. So Kinsler able to come all the way around and score on a walk to Miguel Cabrera from first base.
Well, it was one of the more odd plays that we've seen. 3 errors in one play and to get a run in on a walk. But Santiago was just walking the tightrope all day long. 5 2/3, gave up just 2 hits. The 5 walks, though, to go with the 7 strikeouts. So
effectively wide.
Yeah, I don't even know how you judge this outing today.
Yeah.
Here's Kevin Jeffson. He'll take over.
And the fact of the matter is he was just 1 out away from having a quality start here today.
That is true. He ended up walking Jackson, so that ended that. Here's Castellanos. Let's see if Nick can find a gap here and score Jackson, who has really good speed down at first base.
And Jeffson's got a big arm. His fastball will go anywhere from 92 to 98. Also will cut the fastball. He's got a curveball and a changeup. Does not throw the changeup very often, and very seldom will he throw it to a right-handed hitter.
Ball 1 high.
Jackson is going to steal second base, or at least attempt to steal second base. He got himself a pretty good jump last time against Jepson on that first pitch to Castellanos.
Austin this year has 1 steal. Albert lost his footing. Jepson is the 2nd longest tenured Angels pitcher on their ball club. Jared Weaver is the longest tenured.
If you're Mike Scioscia, the manager of the Angels, you know Jackson's going to be on the move trying to get himself down in the scoring position. He may want to help his catcher out, Conger, by a pitch out.
Big swing there. 1-1 on Castellanos.
Huge swing by Nick there.
Avila waiting on deck. 2 Detroit hits so far, both singles. Romine and Torrey Hunter each have the base hits. There goes the runner. Big jump too, and it's fouled straight back. Jackson had 2 or 3 steps before Jepson delivered the ball home. 1-2. And this time they'll chase Jackson back. A couple of stolen bases today for the Tigers, both for Romine. Rick Porcello has done really good work here today.
Porcello has been brilliant here today when you factor in his numbers from a season ago against this same Angels team, and then you dip back to the career number.
And he threw it away into right field. Jackson gets up, and he will go to second. It's going to be another error on the Angels.
That is 2 now on Conger. They called for the pitch out. Jackson was not on the move. Jackson did squirt off the base a few feet, but a bad throw by Conger. Pujols couldn't help him. And then once Jackson was alerted to where the ball was by Vizquel, he's able to get himself in a scoring position.
Meanwhile, Conger thinking, man, that's my second error, and we'll see if this results in a Tigers run. 4 miscues today for the Halos. Two and two, the count stays on Castellanos. Nick has knocked in 7 this year. Homer to the ball game yesterday. Each team got a run in the first. Neither team has been able to do anything since, and the Tigers are 0 for 8 today with runners in scoring position. Back up the middle into center. Jackson rounding third. He will score, and what a big error to lead to the Tigers' run. 2-1 Detroit.
We're going to make that our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. The first pitch that he swung at, he took a huge swing on the 1-0 count, and then he started to slow it down a little bit as Jepson started to pay attention to Austin Jackson on first base. And then once Jackson got down to second, he got himself a nice little hanging breaking ball. Good swing right back up the box. Jackson able to come home without a play.
Breaking ball was on a platter, and Castellanos drills it to center field, his 8th RBI of the year. The Tigers have their first lead of the game. Here's Avila. Ball 1 to Avila. So the Angels now have 4 errors this afternoon. And both of them leading to Tigers runs. Avila trying to keep it going. He has struck out twice in this game. Both of those at bats against the starter Santiago. Now time called by Avila at home. That is just the 3rd Detroit hit in this game, and all of them singles. Two and 0. The Angels came into this game with an elevated ERA from their bullpen. I mean, their relievers posted an ERA north of 5 coming in. 5.13 to be exact. Starters ERA was over 4. Swing and a miss. 2-1 on Avila. Trying to get the wave going here at the ballpark. 28,921 in attendance here on Easter Sunday.
Our first wave of the year.
Two now on Avila. Two-out walk to Jackson. That signaled the end for Santiago. Then a bad pickoff throw by the catcher Conger set the run up as Castellanos delivers with 2 outs. Outside 3-2. And with 2 outs, that means Nick will be on the run. First baseman Albert Pujols moves behind him. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Avila fans for the 3rd time today, and the Tigers will settle for 1 run. Tigers fans enjoying this one today. The Tigers have taken the lead on the Castellanos RBI hit. 2-1 Detroit. Unearned runs so far in this game. Angels defense, well, it has not been sharp today. 4 errors after committing just 1 in their previous 8 games. And Andrew Romine has had a really good game against his former team. Single walk, 2 steals. So Porcello will go back to the mound now with the lead for the first time today, and he's going to face Howie Kendrick. Kendrick, Freese, and Conger against the Tigers right-hander. Porcello got a double play ball back in the 6th. Had a 1-2-3 5th. And Kendrick looks at strike 1. We're talking about Rick's struggles historically against the Angels and how he has kind of flipped the script here today. His last win against the Angels was back in 2011 in July of that year here in Detroit. So he wants nothing more right now than to beat this Angels team, which has given him fits. There is activity in the Detroit bullpen. That would be Reed and Kroll. The 0-2 missed inside. Here's the 1-2. Kendrick takes low and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tigers have been out hit in this game 5-3, but they lead by a run. David Freese waiting on deck. Kendrick, 2 of the 5 hits today for the Angels, both singles. He knocked in a run back in the 1st. And that makes him 6 for 10 in this series. What if you were to take away the 2 starts that he made against the Angels last year?
A 3.61 ERA for Rick. 16 earned runs against the Halos last year, and just 5 innings pitched for Porcello.
Romine charging. Kenrick is out. They get him for the first time today.
Well, that's how you get Howie out. You have to force him into pulling the baseball. 12 ground outs today for Porcello. He's pitched to Jim.
Following his script, ground ball after ground ball. Here's David Freese. He is 0 for 2, and his struggles in the early goings here have continued today. Ball one inside. Angels acquired Freese in the offseason to play third base for them. He's been bothered by a bad quad, so he's missed the first 2 games of the series. And they are DHing him today. Angels hoping a fresh start can jumpstart his career. Had a bit of a down year last year. Here's the 1-1. 1-2. One and two the count. Porcello now approaching 100 pitches. There's Hank Conger waiting in the on deck circle. Swing and a miss. Freese is dispatched. 4 strikeouts now for Rick.
Real nice changeup here thrown by Porcello. And he is not afraid to throw that pitch to the right-handed batters. And if you can locate it where he located that last one to Freese, you can get away with it for sure.
Kahn warming up in their bullpen. Ball one skips to the backstop. 2 out, nobody on for Conger. They got him on a fly ball to right field his last time up. Really, for the Angels, not much going on since the second when Bosch doubled with 1 out after they got a run in the first. Porcello really settled in. We mentioned he's gotten a double play ball. Here's the breakdown by inning for Rick. After that second, pretty good. Strike called. 1-2 on Conger. Switch hitting catcher for the Angels. Two and two. There's Bosch waiting on deck. Porcello ready with the 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Popped up foul. Castellanos appears to have room, and he does. And Porcello has a 1-2-3 7th. Coming up, the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by LaFontaine Automotive Group.
His former team had 47 games with the Halos last year. He has a base hit. He has a couple of steals today. Both of those happened when Hector Santiago, the left-hander, was on the mound. Nice job today by Andrew Romine at that shortstop position, also fielding tons of ground balls flawlessly.
You know what, I'm curious about how long it took for the Tigers to get 14 steals last season.
How long it took?
May 11th before they reached 14. So they've done that much quicker this year. Got a wall side windows pitching change now. The Angels have gone back to the bullpen. Michael Kahn will take over.
Kahn's got a good arm. He has a good ERA as well this year, pitching in his 10th game, 12 strikeouts against 5 walks for their right-hander.
Santiago started. Jepson came on to get the final out in the 6th, but not before he gave up the go-ahead run on a single. We're at Comerica Park in downtown Detroit on a beautiful day. Happy Easter. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen.
That's pretty cool right there. K-Line and Verlander.
And they are enjoying it today. Better than 28,000, almost 29,000 in attendance. Well, we know that little guy was never able to see Al play in his day, but that guy might have.
He may have.
Number 6. And there's the statue out in right center field. Not to mention, Al's got his own corner here.
Al's got it going on.
That he does. All right, here come the Tigers now trying to add on to their lead. Kahn will face Romine, Davis, and Kinsler. Been a nice day for Romine. Ball 1. Brad said something interesting the other day when he started Romine in game 1 of the series. He said, you know, sometimes when you face your former team for the first time, you tend to have a little bit more concentration and more focus. That's fouled back out of play. That's something he kind of saw in his playing days. Romine was picked up from the Angels. He's had a good day today. Single walk, 2 steals. And he will be splitting time with Danny Worth, who had his contract purchased from AAA today as the Tigers released Alex Gonzalez. Ball high, 2-1.
I would agree with Brad on that assessment of going up against your former team for the first time. But, you know, the challenges for players is to somehow tailor it back a little bit, not to get too amped up when you're going up against your former team.
Big swing there, 2-2.
Stay within yourself, and Romine has done that here in the series.
Well, we know this, and he knows this, that he'll get more of a playing opportunity here in Detroit than he was going to get with the Angels. Kahn ready with the 2-2. Fouled away. Romine, a Southern California kid, played his college ball at Arizona State, where his dad was an All-American. Speaking of ASU, Kinsler was there for a while. The 2-2 is fouled away again.
Omar Vizquel, Tigers' first base coach, was the infield roving instructor last year for the minor leagues of the Angels organization. So he worked quite a bit with Andrew Romine last year. The majority of the games played by Romine last year were played in AAA.
This will find the seats. Only 3 Detroit hits today, but they lead by a run. This has turned into a 7-pitch at bat for Romine.
Tigers offense really has not gotten it going this year. They are not clicking on all cylinders, but they are finding ways to win games. Good base running, some timely hits.
And I think by and large that was one of the big reasons why they kind of restructured their offense this year. little bit more versatile. Soft floater towards short. Going to be a tough play. No chance for Ibar. Romine is on again with another hit. His second of the game.
Even if Ibar fields this ball cleanly, it will be very difficult for him to throw out Romine. Little humpback line drive. And he's got a good arm, does Ibar. He's a real good shortstop, but he would not have thrown Romine out.
Romine reaching for the third time in this game. Now the top of the lineup, Rajai Davis.
Ian Stewart at third base is under the belief that Davis is going to bunt here. Try to get Romine in the scoring position.
And he is bunting, but he popped it up. It'll land harmlessly back toward the Angel dugout.
The way that Conger is throwing the ball here today, though, I wouldn't mind allowing Romine to maybe try to steal his third base of the afternoon. Conger has not thrown the ball well today.
That's a good point. Conger has committed 2 throwing errors. 2 of the 4 Angels errors belong to their catcher.
And I guess the flip side of that is, can Romine get a good jump off the pitcher, Michael Kahn?
Well, Rajai tried to pull the bat back, and he bunts it foul again, 0-2. So he is quickly in the hole in the count now against Kahn. Kinsler will be next. Ian waiting in the on-deck circle. 2 runs on 4 Tigers hits, 1 run on 5 Angels hits. Oh, 2. Kahn is a native of Camden, South Carolina. Missed all of 2012 with Tommy John surgery. Returned last year to pitch 63 games out of their bullpen. And he chucks that one up high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kahn attended the College of Charleston. Here's the 1-2. Got him. Strike 3. Davis slams the bat to the ground. 1 gone.
Boatload of strikeouts today by Angels pitchers against Tigers hitters, and a majority of the strikeouts, the Tigers hitters have not swung the bat on the third offering, and a lot of them have been fastballs inside.
9th strikeout for Angels pitching. So Romine remains at first base with 1 out. The inability of Rajai to get down the bunt, he ends up striking out, and here's Kinsler. Ball 1 to Ian. The activity in the Detroit bullpen features Ian Kroll, the lefty, and Al Albuquerque, the righty.
Porcello has really just crossed the century mark as far as pitches thrown here today. Through 7 innings, you wonder if Brad Ausmus is considering maybe sending him back out again.
Ball 2.
So many times the last few years when Jim Leland was the skipper here, once Porcello got to 100 pitches, that was pretty much it for him every single night. But he's not a rookie anymore, and he's pitching very well out there. He has shut the Angels down in order the last couple of innings for the most part.
Last year, Porcello threw 177 innings. If he is to get to 200 this year, you would think that they're probably going to have to let him go a little deeper in game.
Take them training wheels off.
Absolutely. And he's been pretty good today. Meanwhile, it's 3-0 now on Kinsler. And you would think as well, Rod, with Fister gone now and Smiley sliding into the rotation, you don't know how many innings he will give you at the end of the year. So Porcello may need to pick up the slack in that department because of that as well.
Yep.
3-1 on Kinsler. Cabrera waiting on deck. Ooh, almost another throwing error. That was a pickoff throw that took Pujols off his feet.
He barely caught it. Did Albert.
It's the second time at least today that Pujols has lost his footing down there on a throw that wasn't exactly on the bag.
Threw a two-seamer over there.
Romine swiped the bag in the third. Stole one in the fifth as well. And he lost it. Ball 4. I got 6 walks now for Angels pitching in this game.
I do too.
Well, it's April and the D on Fox Sports Detroit. Join us again tomorrow when the Tigers welcome in the Chicago White Sox. Tigers and Sox tomorrow at 6 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Mike Butcher comes trotting out of their dugout with good reason. You got 2 on, 1 out, and you got Miggy coming up. And Cabrera in this game is 0 for 2 with a walk. He has struck out twice in this contest. Of course, these two teams have a couple of guys that are battling for the MVP. The same players finishing 1 and 2. Maris Mantle did it a couple of times. Bonds and Pujols. And Cabrera and Trout. Each of the last 2 years have finished 1-2 in the MVP voting.
And no doubt both guys will be in that conversation once again this season. Miggy's due.
That he is. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Fielded by Kendrick, 1 and 2.
He's still due.
It's a double play. That'll end the inning. 7 in the books here at Comerica. 2-1 Detroit.
Rick Porcello pitched 7 really good innings here in this contest, gave up 5 hits. He had 12 ground ball outs. The Angels, who have swung the bats okay in first game on Friday, Max slowed them down yesterday. Porcello up for the challenge today. A mixture of curveballs, changeups, and really good two-seam fastballs at the bottom of the strike zone. And Porcello able to exercise some demons against this Angels bunch because he really had not pitched well against them in his career.
Yeah, to say the least. His last 2 starts in 2013, 19 hits in 5 innings and 16 earned runs. Much different story today. Now it's going to be up to the Tigers bullpen to kind of slam the door here the last couple of innings. Ian Kroll will take over.
Ian Kroll is starting to get quite a few reps at the back end of the game when the Tigers have a lead. Brad Ausmus is showing a lot of confidence in Ian Kroll these days. Kroll has given up a couple of homers this year in his last couple of outings.
Got a pinch hitter now for the Angels. Cowgill will pick up a bat and bat for Bosch. Colin Cowgill batting .333. Castellanos on the grass at third. And it's ball 1 to Cowgill.
Kroll will go anywhere from 89 to 94 with his fastball. He's got a really good curveball and a changeup.
Cowgill started the first game of the series on Friday night, had a double, a walk, was hit by a pitch, and scored twice. His job now is to get on base here in a 2-1 ball game in the 8th. Here's the 1-1. 1-2 on Cowgill. Seven innings out of Rick Porcello in this contest, and now Kroll here in the 8th. Eric Ivar waiting on deck. That one got Avila. Soft line drive, looking like trouble. Base hit. Cowgill does his job. Leadoff single and a pinch hitting roll here in the 8th. Tying run is on now for the Angels.
Not a bad pitch by Kroll, but give Cowgill some credit for being able to put that ball in play.
That'll be the 6th hit of the game now for the Angels, and that'll bring up Eric Ivar.
He is an outstanding bunter, Eric Ivar. And not only does he bunt for base hits, but he's a really good sacrifice man as well. Tigers aren't sure whether he is up there bunting. That's why Ian Kroll threw over to first base. They wanted to see whether Ivar would tip or not, whether he is bunting. Eight sack bunts last year for Eric.
That is popped up down the right field line. Kinsler, tough play. So they did not bunt Ivar, and he flies out, one gone. Now J.B. Shuck. So Shuck is 0 for 3. Mike Trout is on deck. Albuquerque is still warming in the Detroit bullpen. Just looks like he's keeping loose now. He's been warming up for a while. There's Joe Smith. He has been loosening in the Angels bullpen. Former Cleveland Indian Joe Smith. One and one on Shuck. Tigers' last 2 days have held Mike Trout in check. He is waiting on deck. He had a big game opening day here, or the opening day of the series on Friday night. Little number right in front of the plate. Avila gets it before it goes foul. For the second out of the inning, advanced Cowgill to second.
A nice job by Avila picking that ball up with the bare hand and firing a strike to Victor Martinez.
So Brad Ausmus now will bring in Albuquerque to face the right-hander Mike Trout. That's going to be it for Kroll, who will face 3 batters in this game. He'll give up the baseball. And another pitching change here at the ballpark. We'll be back. April in the day here in the Motor City. Some of the sights and sounds of Game 3 in this series. And Albuquerque now will take over for Detroit.
And right-hander is hitting .250 this year against Albuquerque. Left-handers .333. That is not the norm for Albuquerque. He usually can handle left-handers with the same kind of effectiveness that he does the right-handed batters.
So Mike Trout trying to tie this one up. He's got a runner at second with 2 outs, 2-1 Detroit. 2 outs and men in scoring position this year. Trout is 0 for 5.
It's scary to see Mike Trout in this situation due to the fact that he is hitless the last 2 days.
Here's the 1-0. Ground ball to third, right at Castellanos. In time for the out. Albuquerque gets it done. And the Angels strand the runner at second. Iron Man apparently got in his head a little bit earlier.
Yes, he did.
Continuing to struggle.
Iron Man lost a bet.
Around for Tigers Live postgame coming up immediately after the game. You'll hear from Tigers starter Rick Porcello about his day, and we'll also hear from Brad Ausmus about that rather unusual play in which the Angels committed 3 errors. Yes, 3 errors on 1 play. Mickey York's in the studio. I'll be collecting interviews in the clubhouse. It's all coming up after the game on Tigers Live. Mario and Rod, back to you for now.
All right, Justin, thanks. Hey, nice Easter tie, by the way. That looks really nice. Colin Cowgill will stay in the game. He'll play in right field for the Angels. And they've got a new pitcher as well. That'll be Joe Smith.
9th game this year for Smith. He has a couple of holds. The ERA is elevated to above 5, but it's early. He does have 9 strikeouts, 2 walks. He has seen the Tigers a bunch when he was wearing that Cleveland Indians uniform.
Yeah, to say the least, he was doing some fabulous work out of that Cleveland bullpen. He'll face Victor Martinez now here in the bottom of the 8th, and Victor looks at a strike. Tight one here today on Easter Sunday, 2-1 Tigers. Martinez, Hunter Jackson facing the right-hander. Smith appeared in 70 games each of the last 3 years for the Indians, so they used him quite a bit. Pulled on the ground and a diving stop at second base. Kendrick throws him out.
Kendrick, we have well documented the damage that he has done offensively in this series, and really from an offensive standpoint he's been really good throughout his big league career, but this is where he has really gotten a lot better defensively. Defensively, he has really turned himself into a good defender at that second base position.
So the leadoff man is kept off the bases. We'll bring up Torrey Hunter. Had a single in the 4th inning. Check swing low, 1-0. .250 career against Smith, who played his college ball at Wright State. There's a ball inside, 2-0 the count.
Got a couple different fastballs. He's got a 4-seamer. He also has a 2-seamer and a breaking ball. They're calling it a slider, but it doesn't get much tilt from that arm slot that he features that breaking ball from. It's more of an east to west action. There it was right there. Not much tilt at all. Not much downward movement. Side to side.
On the outer edge. So with a 1-run lead right now, the Tigers closer. Joe Nathan is heating up in their bullpen.
He's going to have to go right through the heart of the Angels lineup.
3, 4, and 5. Right back up the middle into center. Nice AB by Torrey. 1-out single. He's 2 for 4 today.
Fastball tailed back over the plate to Torrey. Now they wanted that ball away, and it tailed back over the heart of the plate, and a really nice swing and by Torrey.
Here's Jackson, who walked with 2 outs in the 6th and scored what right now is the go-ahead run. Oh, 0-1 on Jackson. Smith began his career with the New York Mets before joining the Indians. There's Castellanos waiting on deck. There goes the runner. Oh, what a huge jump, and it's driven in the air to center field. Trout is on the run, still going back. He's going to get to the warning track to haul it in. Meanwhile, Torrey was just about halfway to second before the ball was delivered.
Here is our Nissan drive of the game. It happened back in the 6th inning with a runner aboard on second base. A 2-strike breaking ball that Castellanos got from Jepson, drove it right back up the box to plate Austin Jackson for the 2nd run of the afternoon for the Tigers.
So with 2 outs, here's Castellanos. Boy, did he delivered a huge hit back in the 6th inning. 2-out RBI single.
Torrey's not going to get a better jump
than
the jump that he just had.
For the rest of his career.
I mean, he was, as you mentioned, he was halfway to second base when Jackson made contact. Here's that jump.
He could have stopped halfway and started running backwards and still would have made it. That's how big that jump was. 1 ball, no strikes on Castellanos. Ooh, throw back, and he just got back in.
Torrey was running again, and I think what he's going to do is he's going to ask his manager to come out and challenge this, because Pujols feels like Torrey Hunter never got back to the bag. He was blocking the bag, apparently. He never got there.
Nope. And Pujols is wasting time now. So is the catcher. Here's another way you can waste some time until they get a replay. Now Mike Scioscia gets the thumbs up, so he's going to come out and challenge this. So instead of having the manager come out quickly, the players were wasting the time, and now they're going to challenge.
I'm all for the instant replay, but some of these that they're asking to review, just kind of plays that, I don't know.
You think there's too many is what you're saying?
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying.
Well, they're going to look at this.
Well, he's going to get called out.
Right, no doubt.
He never got to the bag.
And Pujols immediately told Scioscia, we're going to review this, but in the interim they wanted to double check, so Pujols walked out to the mound. Conger walked out to the mound to give the replay personnel for the Angels a chance to look at it. So this should end the inning here. We'll wait and see, though.
What do you think about the replay and the frequency that managers are using it?
You know what, I'm with you. I really didn't think we would see this many challenges, and I know a lot of them have been overturned, but it really has affected, in my opinion, the flow of games. And I know we want to get it right, and I agree with that, but I am kind of surprised with the volume we've had early. Well, right now it's taken quite a while for them to make their decision. Here's another look. Kind of tough to tell there. So apparently New York is looking at this one from every single angle. Here might be our best look right here. Pujols' foot right on the bag. At least initially it was. This right now is one of the longer delays we've had.
Yes, it is.
Which leads me to believe that New York really doesn't have a very clean look at this.
We've given New York the best looks that we have.
And again, decisions are not being made here at the ballpark. They're being made in New York, so the umpires here are just waiting for the final decision. And it looks like they've gotten it. Safe. Social loses the challenge, so apparently they just did not have a clean enough look for him to say you're out. Well, that took a while. So the call on the field stands. Three minutes and 18 seconds on that delay for the challenge. Runner goes. Conger's throw. And the ball is dropped. Runner is safe. Actually never picked up by Ivar.
Torrey Hunter got another pretty good jump with Smith on the mound. Smith not paying a whole lot of attention to Torrey, and Torrey able to steal that base.
Third steal of the day for the Tigers. It's actually Kendrick covering down at second base, not Ivar. Castellanos now a chance to drive in another run. And Smith slings one down low. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-out RBI single in the 6th inning made it 2-1 Detroit. That's our score right now. Two and two. Avila in the on deck circle. Tigers 2 runs 5 hits. Angels a run on 6 hits. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Meanwhile, Joe Nathan still throwing in the bullpen, waiting to come in. Whether or not it's a 1-run lead, a 2-run lead, we'll wait and see. Jepson, Kahn, and Smith out of the bullpen today for the Angels. Hector Santiago really struggled with his control today, but he gave up just 1 run before departing, and then the single by Castellanos against Jepson was charged to Santiago. 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got Nick to go fishing. And so the Tigers fail to score here in the 8th. They strand a runner at second base. That means we go to the 9th in a 1-run lead. Follow every Detroit Tigers game with MLB.com at bat with your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replay, scores, stats, audio, free MLB TV game of the day, and a whole lot more. Check it out on the App Store at Tigers.com.
You think Mick may have found John Keating's personal stash of Mountain Dew?
That's the only explanation I have after that update. Here is Joe Nathan now. He'll take over.
Gotta love it.
Well, Nathan is going to have to guard a 1-run lead.
Castellanos at third base is hugging that line with Pujols in the batter's box. They don't want any doubles down that third baseline.
Albert in the ball game, singled for 3, bounced into a double play in his last at bat and takes ball 1.
Homered yesterday against Joe Nathan.
He is still standing at .498, 2 home runs shy of .500. Don't want one of those right now. Swing and a miss.
The only other player to hit their 500th home run wearing an Angels uniform, Reggie Jackson. Pujols will join him shortly.
You almost forget that Reggie played for the Angels. Here's the 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And be careful here if you decide to throw Albert a fastball. And you can't let him pull it. You have to make sure that he uses the biggest part of this ballpark if he hits the ball in the air.
In the air, right field. That'll back up Torrey Hunter, and 1 gone.
Very nicely done.
Upcoming matchup now presented by Gordon Chevrolet. We mentioned earlier in the broadcast that guess who's coming to town? The Chicago White Sox will be in for 4, and here's the starting matchup for tomorrow night.
A couple of rocky starts this year for Sanchez, and I mean by the amount of pitches that he's had to throw early in the game. I know he wants to get back on track and maybe follow suit here what Porcello and also Max Scherzer have done the last couple of days, pitching at least 7 innings.
Here's Ian Stewart. Ball one. Well, you got to be impressed with what Rick did today, and you talked about because of the struggles he had against them.
Absolutely. 12 ground ball outs. The infielders were up for the challenge. Had a few strikeouts, kept the Angels hitters off balance.
Now it's just a matter of nailing this one down to get Porcello the victory. Tigers trying to go to 9-6 on the season. Stewart is 1 for 3 today. Bunt single. 2-1. Good pitch, outer edge, 2-2. Nathan is second all time with a save percentage of just about 90%, just under. Six-time All-Star. Tigers saw a lot of Joe Nathan in the American League Central Division with the Minnesota Twins. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Two gone.
It's a good fastball thrown here by Joe Nathan. It's a four-seam fastball, and it was clocked at 93 miles an hour, straight over the top.
Now Howie Kendrick, he's the Angels' last chance. Back up the middle into center field, and the tying run is on. Kendrick continues to hit. 3 more knocks today for Howie Kendrick. And 7 hits in the series to keep this game alive for the Angels. Get a pinch hitter now. Raul Ibanez, who in his career has had only 1 for 10 against Nathan, but that one was a homer.
He's been doing very well late in games. Ibanez, and batting average, his first few at bats during this season, not very good, but you take a look at what he does in the 9th inning or later. 364 average, 636 slugging percentage.
He's batting for David Freese here in the 9th. Did not go. Two-out single by Kendrick. Tying run at first. Go ahead run at the plate.
3rd consecutive year Ibanez has traded uniforms. Yankees 3 years ago. Seattle last year. Halos this season.
2-0. It's been a long and prosperous career for Ibanez. In his 19th season, he's hit over 300 homers. .41 years old. He'll be 42 in June. Nathan retired the first 2 batters, but then the single by Kendrick. Now he's fallen behind Ibanez. The 2-0. 3-0 on Ibanez. So the plot continues to thicken here in the 9th. Nathan, a big deep breath. Kendrick at first. Ibanez takes a strike. 3-1. Raul's big league career began in 1996 as a member of the Seattle Mariners. A couple of different stints with the M's, Phils, Yankees, bunch of teams. Three balls, one strike. Tigers lead 2-1. We're in the top of the ninth. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Strike call, 3-2. Nathan now one strike away. Two-out single by Kendrick, giving the Angels some life. Ibanez pinch hitting. Louis stays alive. Ibanez just got a piece.
That was a good pitch by Joe Nathan. And Ibanez did all he could do just to get a piece of it.
The Angels have the advantage of starting the runner here on 3-2, so if Ibanez can find a gap, almost assuredly Kendrick would score. Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Big win today.
And a big save for Joe Nathan, who strikes out two in the ninth inning, including the pinch hitter Ibanez. The Tigers flexing their muscle today. They had to gut this one out, but it was a big win indeed. Tigers take 2 out of 3 from the Angels. And Rick Porcello will get the victory here this afternoon. Nathan, his third save of the season, and the Tigers win. We'll be back.